Hello, my brothers and sisters. This is Alex Mobley from the Body of Believers Unified. Today, we got a very special guest, historian Daniel Humphreys. We're recording his documentary, Finding Your Identity: The Search for Who We Are, Chapter 1. Take it away, Danny.
Yes, peace and love, people. This is your boy Daniel Humphrey. I'm going to speak on African heritage because
Yes.
some people don't know. So I'm going to speak about the Spanish heritage, Caribbean heritage, and African American heritage, so we could understand what parts of Africa we from. So here we go. I'm going to read. The majority of all people enslaved in the New World came from West Central Africa before 1519. All Africans carried into the Atlantic disembarked at Old World ports, mainly Europe and the offshore Atlantic islands, which, the West Central Africa has 20 countries. I'm going to name some of them right now. You got Niger, Cameroon, you got the Republic of the Congo, Ghana, Liberia, and more others. So I just explained that too, that a lot of us, even from America, came from West Central Africa. So here's something about the Caribbeans. I want to read something about that. In the mid 16th century, enslaved people were trafficking from Africa to the Caribbean by European mercenaries. Originally, white European endured servants worked alongside enslaving African people in the New World, the Americas, which was the Moors. So, I got that from the link in slavery in the British that surrounded Caribbean. So I explained that right there too, that they was enslaved too, just like people in America. We was all enslaved. So here's something from the Spanish heritage right here that I'm going to read for everybody to know too. In 1501, Spanish colonists began importing enslaved Africans from the Iberian Peninsula to the Santo Domingo colony on the island of Hispaniola. So that's the country too. So they even telling you that people from Africa was enslaved even in Spanish countries. And here's something about the peninsula I'm about to tell you. It's a mountainous region that most associated with the countries of Spain and Portugal. And if you know about Portugal, they did a lot of slavery over there too, around that country. So its history under Muslim and Christian rule is reflected in landmarks. So it's just telling you that it's surrounded by Moorish heritage too, and it was taken over by King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella. They took over it and got rid of the Muslim concept and the Jew concept because they was very powerful in the Catholic monarchs. So I'm going to tell you who sponsored the trip for the people to go to the New World Order. One of them was called Amerigo. Now, if you know about America, this is why you got the name America. Because if you spell America, it's America. Amerigo is Amerigo. You could even look it up on Google and say that's where they got the name from. You feel me? It was an Italian dude who went from King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella to discover places where they could take over, bring more ships, give them more ideas. Now, the same person who sponsored America also sponsored Christopher Columbus because he took over Latin America, and what's his name? America took over North America, both by the same king and queen for a public takeover. They both had their separate missions, but the same concept to take over. So here we go, right here too. So America and Columbus was sponsored by the Catholic monarchs. King Ferdinand and Isabella are known for completing the order of expulsion of Muslims and Jews from Spain and financing Christopher Columbus' voyage that led to the discovery. This is their word, the discovery, to throw you off of the New World. So how you going to discover someplace where somebody was living, which is beyond me, which was called the Americas for European gain? You can even look it up yourself. And for the establishment of and much of the world for then more than a century. So they took over. That takeover that they did made them reign for 100 years, which means they died and had somebody else running it until we already knew who took it over right now, which is the British, because we speak English. Because they took over after that, but they had a great run. This is why you got America named America, and then you got the District of Columbia named after Columbus. Columbia, Columbus. Same thing, just that's the name. So look at this: America, born in Italy, died in Spain. Christopher Columbus, born in Italy, died where? In Spain. So it's to let you know that they did, and they all had slaves. Each one of them I just named had slaves. Even the first president of the United States had slaves. Had 18 slaves before 18 years old. So think about that concept. What was this country founded on? By gaining territories and using slavery to build their nation, their whole new world. Now think about this concept which I explained. When you say the word Jesus in Latin English, which we say, whether it's in broken English or regular, we are saying that's how we say Jesus. But if you Latin, you would say Jesus. But it's both the same meaning because both of the countries are taken over by the same people who speak Latin. So it tells you their history right there. Latin was found in Rome. Where's Rome at? Italy. So right there, that's why they say the most common language other than English would be Spanish because they both share history, tremendous history, even using slavery. So right there, I tell you. And then I'm about to read this, the New World Order. Let me tell you what the New World Order is all about. And I got an example of the New World Order in my pocket. Which, you're going to see pyramids where, like, in God we trust right here. If you notice, they got something on a dollar bill in the back of the pyramid which says, "Annuit cannabis." Oh, it says in Latin, "Annuit" means in Latin, "I approve." And "quotis," or you want to call it "quotum," means undertaken. What is undertaken? Which means that you kind of accepting what they're giving you because you undertaken what they do. You're not overtaken. So you it's kind of like under attack. So when you say "I approve," undertaken, that's the word. And then if you look on the bottom of the pyramid on the dollar bill, it says "Novus Ordo Circulum," which means New World Order. So if you put both of those things that's on your money, it says, "I approve the New World Order," which means you approve what the system is giving you, what you're worth, what you are. It's not what you think you're worth, it's what they think you're worth. So that's making you think right there that when you see your money, who do you see on your money? You don't see no black people on your money. You see the White House. You say, "In God we trust." Who you see, that's God on that picture. So it's just showing you that you don't see no Caribbean person, you don't see no American person, you don't even see no Asian person on no bill. You don't see none of that. But guess who you do see? Say, and they even got the eye, the all-seeing eye. That's what they call it, the eye of providence, which is the all-seeing eye of God. That's what they call it. It's a symbol that depicts an eye, often enclosed in a triangle, surrounded by rays of light or glory. So think about the light that is shown around there. That's the light of glory, meant to represent divine providence, whereby the eye of God watches over humanity. Who watches over this humanity of the new world? Think about that. A well-known example of the eye of providence appears on the reverse of the Great Seal of the United States bills. What is the Great Seal? Because they sell in the contract. When you accept their money, you selling yourself. You work for that money. This is what you work for, slaves. And guess what? The British won vast territory, because I got to tell you how the British actually won the thing. Because remember, it belonged to Spain and all the Europe people that they wanted to go, but British wanted it for gaining territory, so we already know that. So the British won vast territory in North America after the 7-Year War. But with the land came numerous problems of how to govern it, which they already tell you in the history books. It was hard because, it was too much because they was already taking over other lands. They thought it was too much nonsense. They said, damn, we got to keep watching over. So at the same time, the Treaty of Paris of 1763 that ended the 7-Year War provided Great Britain with enormous territorial gains. So if they gained territorial gain from that war, this is what the 7-Year War was about, which nobody ever tells you. The 7-Year War was a fight with the alliance of Britain, Persia, what is Persia, Germany, and Hanover, against the alliance of France, Austria, Sweden, Russia, and eventually Spain, because Spain was losing their territory around it. Because after the monarchs died, Great Britain wanted it because they wanted to control the main thing that America was all about, slavery. So they won at the end. They said Great Britain and his team won. This is why we speak America. This is why we speak English, because if Britain won and we speak in English, this is we won. Because if France won, we would have been speaking France. If Russia won, we would have been speaking Russian. Germany did won, but they despise slavery. See, they don't mind taking over other places and gaining territories, but that's one thing they do despise is slavery. So we already know that a lot of people who was mostly slave owners was from Britain or France. Mm-hmm. This is why, Haitian people speak broken French and call it Creole. They made their own thing up, just like how Jamaican people made up broken English and taught their language. They made something up off of their language. This is how we do in general. Even in America, we speak Hispanics because we're making up our own thing. Mm. This is what we do in general because we're copying over somebody's thing and making it to ours. And there's 29 countries who speak broken French. I'm just gonna name some of them. But you got Belgium, you got Canada, you got Switzerland, you got the Republic of the Congo, and you got more other places. Cameroon too, mm-hmm. Also, just to name out there. And then here's another thing. What countries speak broken English? A hybrid of English and local languages. It traces its roots to the Atlantic slave trade in the 17th century. That was the thing I was talking about with America and all of that. This is why we know these languages. This is how we know the Spanish language. This is how we know the American language. This is how we know it, because we had people who wanted the new world for slavery purposes to gain. This is why we work hard for the money to gain. This is how we gain, because where money really comes from. Some of us don't even know what money are we worshiping and working hard for. Like, what is it made out of? Mm-hmm. How is it so easy to print? How's it, how's it all that? But we working, and it says New World Order, to make us think about that money all day. Because this is what we work for the rest of our life till we die. Even when you die, you got to pay your dues. So think about that concept. So we represent Africa. Please wake up, people, and let's unify. Because one thing we need to know is our history. People of Caucasian history know their history, no matter if they from England, France, from Britain, from Germany, from Switzerland, from all this. They know one place they come from. This is what Africa needs to know. We need to know where we come from and get rid of that Willie Lynch mentality of hating every black race, because we are part of one family too. Nobody gonna teach us unless we teach ourselves and help each other out.
Amen.
So at the end of the day, we need to unite, gain, and learn. And I'm going to continue to do more chapters for more understanding and letting you, but I'm going to keep supporting and learning. And as we keep doing it, we can learn together. And thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Daniel Humphrey. This is my cousin, historian Daniel Humphrey, doing chapter 1, finding your identity, to search for who we are. And we thank you so much and appreciate it.
Much love.